Then, lastly, I want to talk about this type of a movement, rather, this type of women. I simply refer to them as the talkers, the whiners, and the complainers. You know, in most marriages that we deal with, especially as far as counseling is concerned, or when the marriage is on the rocks or things like that, we usually come across these type of women in most cases. They are talkers, they are whiners, and complainers. What does that mean? That means these are type of women which at all times they talk, 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 talk. If she gives you a call, she's the one who's talking about 90% to 95% of the time. And all you can do as a husband or as a man is just go, yeah, okay, oh, that's nice. Okay, if you feel good about it. Okay, fine. I don't know. Yeah, well, mm, yeah, I see. And all that. So these type of women, they make a man to feel insignificant. They make a man to feel unnecessary, and they make a man to feel as though he's not only inferior, but he's unneeded, and he's a nuisance. And as a result, a man pulls back. He's no longer as expressive as he used to be. He looks to be a little bit moody. He no longer talks as much. He's no longer as friendly as he used to be, because of the talking, 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 and never stopping type of attitude. That attitude is a very dangerous attitude where I believe that one of the solutions to that is that as a woman, it's very important to learn the skill of listening. You want to try to get to his vision. You want to try and get to what he has as a plan for not just his life, but our lives as a couple, as a family. So to be able to sit back and actually listen to him, not to hear him, but to listen. That means hearing with interest, but hearing to understand and hearing to learn, not hearing to respond or to retaliate or to react. So it's very important, therefore, that women, amongst other things, I've already spoken about men. Now I'm dealing with women, that women should learn not to be talkers, but also to be great listeners. This is a skill that you learn over time, where you tell yourself, okay, let me shut up now. Let me shut up. I'm probably driving him off the roof now. This is what Solomon said. Solomon said, it is better to live in a corner of a roof. It is better to live in a desert than to live with a quarrelsome woman. What does that mean? It means that it's a woman who is always talking and never appreciating. A woman who is always talking and never wanting to listen. Number two, number one, I spoke about a talker. Number two, I'm speaking about a whiner. This is a woman who basically, wants to be pampered but doesn't pamper her husband. She wants to be taken to places, but she never takes her husband anywhere. She only takes her husband to the loan sharks. She watches TV until the sunset. And from what she watches, she wants to be implemented in her marriage. She looks at the soapies and she looks at how women treat the husbands from the soapies or the TV perspective, and she wants to take that and translate it to her marriage. She wants to take the unrealistic things that she sees on the movies and want to impose them in her marriage. And it is such a difficulty for her husband to cope with that. That's a whiner. That's a woman who always says, oh, but you're not doing great for me. Oh, you're not even doing this for me. You no longer open the gate for me. You no longer open the door of a car for me anymore. She always looks at the things that he used to do that he doesn't do. But she hardly looks at the things that he does and to show appreciation. To say, oh, love, thank you so very much, you remembered. anniversary. Oh, thank you so very much for the roses. They're beautiful. Oh, thank you so much for a pizza, you know. Not saying, oh, you brought the pizza, but you didn't buy the drinks. You know, what's wrong with you? You know, I told you about milk, and you never came with milk. When you start to treat your husband as your son, he loses interest. And one of the things that he will start losing as well is the interest for intimacy with you. Suddenly he will touch you less and he'll be more distant because, one, he is irritated by your non-stop talking and you're whining all the time. You never appreciate the hard work that he does. You never appreciate when he comes back, late because he's doing extra shifts at work just so he can meet the needs of the family and your needs as well. You want hair, you want imported bags, you want designer clothes, you want this, you want that, you want this, you want that. And sometimes you do that in an expense of his cool. You do that in an expense of what he can afford. And as a result, he grows colder and colder and colder and distant and distant and distant until your marriage is upon the rocks. Before you know it, there's a third person involved. All right, so number one, I spoke about the talkers. Number two, I spoke about the whiners. Number three, I speak about the complainers, Now, this is a type of a woman who never has any sweet word to say about her husband. She's manipulative. She's rude, she's arrogant, and she prefers to either respect and show smile and care and hugs to other men to spite her own man, belittling the man. And as a result, she lives a very dangerous life, and as a result, she can find herself in the arms of another man. And she will reason against what she did. She will say, oh, but you pushed me to him. Oh, but you did this. Oh, but you did that. Oh, but you did. It's always about what he did and never about what she did. Now, this type of women, they are never apologetic. Even when they are wrong, they try to justify everything. These are the complainers. They always complain. They always complain about almost everything, when she's talking on the phone to another man, she is so sweet, be it her uncle, be it her dad or her colleague. But immediately when she says, okay, bye, and then she turns to you, oh, hell breaks loose. Why are you looking at me like that? Things like that. Showing or giving your man attitude. These are some of the things that really turn the man off. And as a result, the marriage becomes very, very cold. And you start saying, oh, but he's just cold. He doesn't touch me anymore. And you complain to your girls, he doesn't touch me anymore. He doesn't do this anymore. He doesn't. I think he's in another relationship. Oh, I think he's mean to me. Oh, he doesn't, because you have developed this, for a lack of a better word, you have developed this monster. And now, you must stand with this monster that you have created. So it's very important, therefore, that a woman understands that at all times it's good to say thank you. Thank him for what he did. And sometimes don't mention what he didn't do. And when he is happy, remind him. But don't crush him. Okay, I'm going to continue with this if there's a need for me to continue with it. I think I'm being long, so I'm just going to end here for now.